Okay, this is an iRobot Roomba 980. It's not performing to expectations, and I suspect it's very, very dirty. So I'm going to disassemble it. And so I begin by taking off piece by piece the wheel, the little axle, little compressed air, blowing it out, making sure there's no debris in there. Just nice dry steel axle. Everything looks good there. And then proceed to take the cassette that holds the wheel out. It just kind of pops out. And there's sometimes more debris than others. And these things could be dog hair, cat hair. But we'll get to all that in a minute here. And so I'm using some lens wipes to clean up dust, debris. The lens wipes are good because they have alcohol base in them. And so I'm using the compressed air quite frequently to remove dust particles and things that can cause problems. And here I'm using a Q-tip with some alcohol and removing dust and other debris from the little sensor windows on the bottom of the Roomba. They were extremely dirty, and you kind of want those windows to be pretty clear for the sensors. And so getting those all clean, and including I'm not professing to be an expert on all of the names of all these parts, but I'm cleaning everything that I can find within reason. And so that's what you see me doing here. And just in advance, the iRobot was moving about 6 feet off of its charger and then stopping. It would go nowhere. And so decided to take it apart and clean all of the parts that could reasonably be cleaned without doing some damage to the unit. And so I'm removing, here in this case you can see there's some hair and string and other debris. A little yellow cap there comes off, and you can blow out the roller and remove any other debris that you may see. You could use a little lubricant on the little metal end if you wanted to. I'm not quite sure what. I didn't use any. Didn't seem to cause any problems. Once it's done, it works fantastic once I get done with this. And so doing the same thing to the other color-coded roller. They have color-coded rollers so that you make sure that you get the roller in its correct location. I'm not sure what the reason for that is, but it's there. And so once that's done, go ahead and proceed to remove the dust bin. It's fairly clean, but only because the little opening from the roller compartment shows to be blocked. Clean that out and remove the filter and knock a little bit of debris off of that reusable filter, which you can buy on Amazon if you ever need to buy new ones. And once again, carefully blowing it out. It's really better to do this job outside, but I figured, just this once. The wife's not at home. I think I can handle getting this done inside, get everything cleaned up before she gets home. So, moving onward, using my Victorinox multi-tool knife thing, I'm using the Phillips head to remove some screws that hold down the cover on the bottom, including the battery compartment cover. I found that a butter knife works best. I know that sounds crazy, but it really does, even better than a flathead screwdriver. At least in my case it did. Popping that cover off, and I did not dust the underside of the compartment there, cover rather, and I probably should have. Continuing to wipe things down, using compressed air to blow things out, And just generally making sure that things look, pretty clean. Removing the battery, using some alcohol-based lens wipes to clean the contacts, just to make sure that battery is making perfect contact. It's fairly dirty, so I take the unit off screen and blow it out really good outside, because it did have a lot of debris inside in all the nooks and crannies. So then I'm going to proceed to clean the contact points within the unit itself here briefly. And we are ready to reassemble. That little thing I'm pointing at there is a motor for the brush. You can actually purchase those motors if they ever go bad, and you can put a new motor in, and I believe you can get those through the actual iRobot website. I can't remember what they cost, but yes, you can get the part there. And this iRobot is over 3 years old, and it's done a faithful, fantastic job removing dog hair and etc. from the hardwood floor, and even some space carpets. Is that what you call those things? Area rugs that we had in the house. And just basically the next thing you do is reassemble. So it's not much to it. It takes about 15 minutes to get all this stuff done. I put the video on fast speed to try to get things through. This video was about 16 minutes long, and I used iMovie to do the video, and I put it on the galloping jackrabbit mode so that we could get through this quicker. But I did want people to see how it's done, especially those who just thought that maybe emptying the dustbin would be all you ever really had to do to make this thing run at its best. There's a few other things you can do, as you've witnessed, that will help this thing to run like new. And sure enough, after doing this, like what I call a minor overhaul cleaning, it definitely did its job. And it no longer paused at 6 feet away from the charger and died, but it continued to work as normal. In fact, it went throughout the entire floor area over a course of almost 4 hours without stopping to finish the job. So these are great little vacuum robots. And there's, I'm not saying it's the best, obviously. There are a lot of great little iRobot type vacuum cleaners that are out there on the market. And just putting on a few finishing touches. That multi-tool by Victorinox is the Swiss Army Swiss Champ. I use that thing just about every day. I love that knife. And there are some little pieces that I'm pointing to there. They're very dusty, but they surround a couple of plastic posts. And if those are sensors, I do kind of want them to be clean. They may not be, but I think anything that's covered with dust, if there is a sensor, is gonna cause some problems. So just try to make sure that everything is cleaned up, that either may be a sensor or a moving part or a filter, things like that. goof-proof. Yes, it only goes in one way. And that does it. Hopefully that'll help some of you out there who've not taken your iRobot apart before to clean it to this degree. But I really think you'll find improved performance. Thanks for watching.